what secrets lie within my Dungeon Master orb? I can just stare into it for an eternity, because there is nothing like it. There is nothing like playing a role-playing game. And I'm curious, what are your favorite things about playing role-playing games? Before Dungeon Master Doom was a player, I would get very frustrated when I watched a movie or read a book, or read a comic book for that matter, and I would see one of the characters do something, and I would sit there, powerless, saying, "Don't do that! That is the dumbest thing you can possibly do!" And when you are a player character, that can't happen, because you're there in the moment doing what you think is the best thing to do. Now, you still don't get over that problem of, like, that was a dumb idea, because you'll probably end up looking back and thinking, oh, why did I do that? But it's definitely a different feeling than being there in the moment and making those decisions, which is a much more satisfying way of participating in a story. Now, as I became a dungeon master, the things I enjoy in the game have changed. Now, I like to pit players against insurmountable odds. Impossible games that no one could possibly beat. Well, somehow, my players always figure out a way to beat my games. And as a dungeon master, I always am amazed and to see the ideas that players come up with that I would never think of. And when I design my adventures, I never bother with coming up with a solution. I just think of an fiendish and sinister master plan that can't be defeated. It just seems realistic or feasible to an extent. It would be something like a tribe of orcs who wants to conquer a city of some kind. And I would think, well, the orcs would have these resources and this strength, and they would be able to take on a city like this. And it would be a surefire thing in my mind that the orcs could take over the city, slaughter everyone, and go off and do whatever orcs do. So I come up with the plan, and then the players come and they thwart all my plans. And it's just fun to see the plans unravel when the players start participating and thinking outside of the box and coming up with ideas I would never come up with. So I enjoy that aspect of the game. And YouTube has just by accident opened up new avenues in role-playing games. And that is dungeon masters like myself appearing. Dungeon master characters, if you will. there are two other channels that I really enjoy that have fiendish or intriguing. They aren't fiendish. Not all of them. and they aren't as fiendish as Dungeon Master Doom. But they all have their own unique spin, which I enjoy very much. One of them is, his channel is Ghoster, and I'll put links below, and you can see their own dungeons. Ghoster is a dungeon master who is a sinister genius, and he films his channel in a grainy black and white, and he collects his players, and he keeps their character sheets, and well, I don't know exactly what he does with the character sheets, but he seems very obsessed about them. And then there's another dungeon master, Captain Gothnog. Now, Captain Gothnog is more he's more of a, well, he's more of a serious dungeon master, and he's very rustic, and he lives in a very medieval style house, and he does his own carpentry, which is an art in itself, and he takes it up a notch, as he's a very medieval dungeon master, and he has magical powers. In one of his episodes, when he was talking about alignments, he just simply pointed to the screen. He was sitting on the side, and he went, "Huzzah!" And suddenly, in the air, this diagram of the alignments appeared. It was fascinating. I am not sure how I do that, especially because I'm more of a B-rated horror host. My inspirations are like Elvira and Count Gordeval and Cinema Insomnia's Mr. Lobo. In fact, I'm a official knight of the Sleepless Nights of Insomnia. So I enjoy the horror hosts very much. So that's one aspect that has just been a blast on YouTube. And my goal with the channel, I've really been itching to play a role-playing game, and I've only been able to get board games going on. But at the same time, now my free time is all going into designing my own D20 game. And I'm not exactly the best game designer, so it's very much just very standard OGL content. But I'm putting my own twists on it, and through the YouTube, I've been able to refine my ideas and understanding of the game with everyone's feedback and criticisms, and it's been fantastic. But the main goal with this master plan of mine to create a game is I really just want to illustrate a role-playing game. And that, and I'm spending a lot of time putting the fluff into the game of the worlds that I've created as I've played games. So I have my own spin on dwarves, elves, and humans, and such creatures as that. So I'm focused on game design at the moment, but that will change when the game is done. And I think it would be extremely fun to play the game live on YouTube when I'm done with it. But that will still be very long in the future. The game has a very long way to go. Although the first draft, I'll probably have it done in a couple days. And then it's time to start drawing the game, which I just can't wait. I just can't wait to do the illustrations. And then I'll have to go back again and go over the rules and check it again. And then I'll have to make sure the game runs smooth enough. And then once it's running smooth enough, I think it'll be time to take it on camera. And then I could run the game as Dungeon Master Doom. We'll see. We'll see. I think that would be extremely entertaining. So, let the games begin.